Welcome to Chai After Dark, everyone. I'm Shabnam, and I'm here with my co-host Sameem, and today we are going to cover Season 1, Episode 5 of Succession called I Went to Market. I don't know why it's called I Went to Market. Do you, Sameem?
Because Logan Roy doesn't know where the market is at the end of the episode. They're playing that game.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking
super
market.
traumatic, by the way, at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
I was thinking market like the economy or something. That's why I was like, oh, I don't get that.
Oh, because that's what Logan Roy would be thinking about.
Yeah, it's funny. So, okay, so I'm on something right now because work is kind of crazy and I don't know what to do with myself.
Are you self-medicating? Is that what you're telling everyone?
No, I am high on life. I'm high on legal work. So.
Okay, cool. I don't know what to say to that. You know what? Would you protect this family as a lawyer?
I mean,
or would you leave your job?
I probably wouldn't take them as clients if I had an option.
Even if Frank, Jerry, these people are wealthy.
I know.
It's not worth it to you.
Well, I haven't set myself up to have a career like that. Okay, as one of my previous employers used to say, I'm the janitor. That's what one of my yeah.
Everyone knows who you're talking about. Motherfucker brought a sink outside the office.
Oh, not that. No, not that
money.
Guy. That's not who I'm talking about.
Oh, because that was a janitor as well.
Did he? Oh, okay. I don't know, but that's not who I was thinking of. But, that's the kind of legal work that Jerry does, right? And I haven't set myself up to do that kind of work for individuals. So I don't really want to.
Yeah. I mean, is there any rule of law in this country anyways anymore? So the Hippocratic Oath doesn't mean anything. I know that's not a lawyer thing, but
yeah, that's a doctor thing.
I don't know I don't know what oath you take. That's the one I could remember. We
have to have an ethical, there's an ethics requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to see. I'm not saying all lawyers are bad. It can't be, but no one gives a shit about an oath. Do people care about oaths?
I mean, that's
maybe
like
at
saying
one time in life.
That's like saying, are people honest and ethical? I mean, I think some people are and some people aren't. So obviously there's lawyers and doctors that take these oaths or purport to be ethical and they aren't. And then there's some that are super ethical, right? I don't know. That was a very lawyer
The more
answer.
ethical you are. Yeah. I mean, what is this? You're not going to be making any money if you're not, bending some rules. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not a lawyer. So
is that what you do in sales?
I'm not in sales anymore. So yeah, I will say if you, I have done that. Yeah. It's more it's funny because when you work for a company that is obviously not the market leader, you have to make up some shit why you're second or third or fourth place. So if somebody asks you, why don't you have market share and versus another company, then I have to say that other company has this shortcoming, but we have this, and then sometimes we don't deliver, right? So yeah, maybe I've overpromised in the past and my companies have underdelivered. I think that's probably 70% of my deals.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well,
but software isn't that great, especially business software. It's always down and stuff. So it's not my fault.
Yeah, blame the engineers. That's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to blame the engineers.
I have people skills. I don't need to be an engineer. That's from Office Space. I don't talk like that.
All right, so let's get into it, shall we? I know that it's July for us, but it's actually Thanksgiving on Succession. So Greg goes to visit his grandpa, Logan's father. Well, okay, this is what
it's not Logan's father. Logan's 80 years old.
No, I know. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's Logan's brother, right? But initially I put in my notes Logan's father because this is a white thing versus a South Asian culture thing. They say cousin to everyone, even people that's not in your generation. So that means what I realized during this episode is Greg is Logan's brother's grandson. Okay. But Logan's kids still call him cousin, even though he's technically their nephew. He's not really their cousin.
He would be
their nephew.
Really? Oh, yeah, because that's Logan's kids, not Logan's grandkids. So they would be, or second cousin.
Yeah, he's second cousins with the kid that gets punched in the face at the end.
Wow,
Kendall's
that poor
son.
kid.
Yeah, Kendall's son.
That poor kid, that poor autistic kid.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up. It was like, I just finished it, by the way, the episode. I've seen it before, so I watched it a few years ago, but then literally just finished it before I came on, and Sophie was sitting next to me playing Roblox or something, and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, this guy got just slapped. The only thing, like, I don't want to talk about it now, but the only thing I want to say is, dude, that Marcia lady is just like, oh, it's all good, dude. My 80-year-old husband just hit this kid. And she was like so chill with it.
Isn't Marcia Brown though? I feel like they'd be like, oh, whatever, your grandfather
whatever
slapped
she is,
you,
she's
whatever.
an Uncle Tom, right? Like, she's not brown or anything. Like, she's part of the patriarchy. She's a useful idiot. Though it seems like she wants her son to take over Waystar, right? He is introduced in this episode.
Yeah, but there was nothing much about him, right?
He's sitting in the corner and he got the European division by the end of the episode. And then Kendall looks at his dad, right? And he's like, what the fuck? So Amir is a quiet, good-looking guy. And I think Marcia is trying to get him to be head of Waystar, maybe. Another Succession piece. Of course she is.
Interesting.
Of course she is, yeah. But I don't know yet. We don't know anything about Amir yet.
Yeah, except for that he's quiet and good-looking, and that's my kind of guy. So
quiet and good-looking, really?
Yeah. Except for, I don't know.
Yeah, except for what? What were you about to say?
No, I was going to say, except for not really quiet. Like, I don't know. Whatever. We'll see.
I'm really attracted to quiet women, but then I'm like, but then I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes it's just, it doesn't fizzle. Well, it fizzles out.
Do you mean it does fizzle out?
It fizzles out. It's like a soda, right? You open it. It's like the worst soda ever, dating a quiet woman. It's like, and then it just all goes away.
That's hilarious. Okay. So basically, Greg's going to visit his grandfather, which is Logan's older brother, Ewen. And he's even more crotchety than Logan is. And so Greg is going on some road trip, taking his grandfather basically to have Thanksgiving with Logan's family, which Marcia invited him because obviously Logan would never. So Greg wants to talk about business, but his grandfather, Ewen, just wants to drive in silence, no music, no talking about business, nothing. He's extra crotchety. So that's where that starts. So then back in New York, Frank calls Kendall and Roman into his dad's office for a meeting with Jerry. So Jerry and Logan want to acquire a bunch of local channels. I mean, I don't know how much Jerry really wants to, but she's going along with Logan, right? And Logan says they should buy more and more. He's like, why shouldn't we do all the news? And Roman says, because Kim Jong Pop, that's not how things work in this country. Which I'm like, okay.
That's literally how it works. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. Do you think these guys that took over our country and literally bought our country, maybe they got the idea from that scene?
Is it art imitating life or life imitating art?
You asked before, and it goes both ways nowadays. I mean, really quick, Trump was president 2016 to 2021, right? 2017, I guess, January 2021. This is in 2018. He didn't really like buy the government in his first term, right? He just was a grifter, like selling, I don't know, like cell phones that are gold for $1,000. But now it seems like they watch Succession and they're like, oh shit, we can actually do this.
That's funny. Yeah, it could be. So Logan says people come to us because we don't do that bleeding heart kind of stuff, right? Like he's like, we're American, okay? That's why people come to us. So Kendall is pretty okay with this as long as they could still diversify, which is all Kendall really cares about. And Logan is like, of course we can still do that. We can go to India, China, Indonesia. Roman, do you know how many people are in Indonesia? And Roman is like a billion. And Logan is like, Roman, you're a moron. That was kind of my favorite part. But it reminded me of the Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz thing. Do you know how many people are in, what country was it? Iran?
Iran.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's like, who cares? And he's like, Tucker Carlson sucks. Okay, let's put this out there. This renaissance of liberal bleeding hearts thinking Tucker Carlson's on their side. No, the motherfucker's protecting himself. You geniuses. He said he says the worst things on earth. He called us dirty immigrants. Don't forget. He's protecting himself. He knows how deep this goes, and he's probably not bought by lobbyists. So F that guy, except for when he went after Ted Cruz. Also, everyone hates Ted Cruz, including Republicans. So
yeah,
it's pretty easy to pick on that Lord Munster looking. He looks like he's from the Addams Family, by the way.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I might have stolen that joke, though, so I don't want to take credit for it.
Yeah. Okay. So then Logan tries to pour himself a cup of coffee, but he keeps pouring and pouring and he spills it out. So like there's definitely some misfiring going on in his brain. Then we see Shiv and Tom. They're having breakfast. They're getting ready for work. The prenup comes in. Shiv presents it to Tom in a manila envelope. And Tom is like super eager to sign it. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, consider me signed it. I don't even need to look at it. Like, I don't even care. I'm just going to sign it. And she's like, no, you need to look at it. I feel like this is like reverse psychology. He's trying to fuck with her. Like, I'm so into it. And then of course she's going to insist that he has somebody look at it. And then we'll see what happens next. But it was such a weird ass reaction.
I mean, he's desperate to marry, right, into this powerful family. So he's basically like, I'm your bitch. Just do what you want to me. And it gets worse. Like his lawyer, by the way, is hilarious.
His mom.
He's like my lawyer.
Yeah, that's funny. So Kendall gets into an elevator at the office with two kind of like regular employees.
Yeah.
And they're like really eager to kiss his ass. Obviously, they tell him how a team of data storage people are his fans and he gets all pumped up. It's really, really strange. But this scene is weird. I don't know what the purpose of it was except for to show that he's egotistical, which we already know.
Do you think it's ego or do you think he's so easily manipulative? Sorry.
Manipulatable. Yeah.
Manipulatable.
Yeah. Manipulatable. Yeah. He's so easily manipulatable because
everyone loves validation though, right? So
yeah,
that's what he was seeking.
Yeah. Everybody does. That's so true. We know that. Hashtag validation.
Validation for life.
Yeah. Okay. So Tom comes into the office after breakfast with Shiv. He meets a guy who basically tells him they can shred the files and find a fall guy. So this is about the shitstorm of the scandal of people trafficking people and sleeping with people and all that. He's like, we'll just shred all the files, we'll shred them twice, and we'll find a fall guy. So the guy tells Tom he needs to find someone he can trust, not really someone who's quote unquote expendable, but, you know, someone he can trust. So obviously, who does Tom call? Tom calls Greg. Well, Greg is in the car with Ewen. And Tom tries to get Greg to the office. He doesn't at first realize that Ewen's in the car. And he's like, where are you? So Tom's like, well, I'm 12 hours away in Canada. And he's like, get your butt to the office, basically. And he's like, well, I'm with my grandpa. And Tom goes, fuck your grandpa. And Greg's like, you're on speakerphone. And then he's like, well, okay, take me off speakerphone. He doesn't really know what to do. And it's hilarious because I love that he did that to Logan's brother.
Logan's brother, I guess, is not a snitch. Because that dude, just that comment probably could have gotten Tom kicked out of that family.
Maybe, but Logan's also pissed at Ewen, so he
I know,
like,
they don't
yeah,
get along,
fuck
so,
Ewen, yeah,
yeah, and Logan would probably be like, fuck Tom too. So but he can still marry my daughter.
Yeah. That's funny. So Roman and Kendall are complaining about their dad wanting to buy the local news channels, and they're like commiserating over this while Roman works out. And Roman's trainer's like all up on him, this guy trainer, who I really think they're going to have an affair at some point. And then when Kendall first walks in, he's like, can I have a minute? Can I have some privacy? And it's like, you're working out and it's your brother just trying to chat with you. Who cares, right? But anyways, it's just interesting. So then they're like commiserating over that. And my favorite part was Roman is like, who cares how many people are in Indonesia? Fuck Indonesia. It sounds like a medical condition. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck Roman. He sounds like a dead empire.
Oh, got him.
Got him.
I mean, what is he? He's just, I'm still trying to figure out Roman's character and all this. Kendall seems to be like the serious good boy. And Roman is like, I kind of get it. I'm just going to make my money, become COO, and pretend to be straight. I don't even know what he's doing. You're totally right.
Yeah.
He can be whatever he wants to be. We're not shaming him, but the trainer keeps making an appearance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So then Kendall enlists Frank to try to go against Logan. They both discuss like basically how they can kick him out through a board vote of no confidence. And so they're figuring out how to get enough votes. Somehow Logan has gotten Frank on board. Do you think it's because of the spilled coffee?
I don't know if it's because of the spilled coffee or if it's Frank and Jerry just, okay, we'll be agreeable with Kendall, but that doesn't mean we're going to vote when the time comes.
That's true.
That's what politics is, and that's what this show is about. It's showing how Kendall doesn't know what he's doing. He's telling everybody what he actually thinks. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just say, I do the best for Waystar, and then shut up, and then go behind everyone's back.
Yeah,
he's
and
too forward with his plan.
Also, he's been there for 5 minutes and he's already fucking over his own dad. So why would these people ever trust him? Like if I saw somebody like that in the workplace, I'd be like, okay, you're the first person we need to get out, because if you're going to screw that person over in literally like 4 days while they're recovering from a stroke, then you're going to screw us over ASAP.
And he's 38 years old. How long do you want him to wait before he can take over an entire organization? The dude is so young on top of that. So he's obviously not ready for it. Now that I'm older than 40, I can like, maybe you agree, I'm not sure, but definitively I can say when you're 38, 39, you're still kind of a dumbass. And it's kind of sad to say. But
I don't know. It's
I'm
like
mostly talking about men. I'm not talking about women.
The 39 was like a couple months ago for me. So I hope I wasn't a dumbass. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you're not Kendall. So
yeah. So, okay, Tom's mom basically calls him when he's in the car riding to, I don't know where they're going to lunch, like him and Shiv, or maybe it's after the workday. She calls him and she basically says that the prenup is unconscionable, and she's his lawyer. And so he goes to Shiv, my lawyer says the prenup is unconscionable. And then we find out it's his mom. And then he's like, well, she's a hard ass.
She's actually a really good lawyer in the Twin Cities. That's what he says.
Yeah,
which is
funny.
That's Minnesota. That's Minneapolis, right? So
yeah,
she can't be no slouch. I get that she's not some big time Wall Street lawyer, but she's obviously a competent lawyer since Minneapolis is a major city. Target Corporation is there, by the way. So I don't know if that's what she works for, but then he's like, "I'll see you at Christmas," and Shiv's like, "Nah," and then he's like, "I'll see you at New Year's." And she does it again. She's like, nah.
Damn. Shiv's a bitch.
That was triggering to me.
Oh, poor Sameem.
Yeah. I had to go to so many Thanksgivings and Christmases without any regard. I feel Tom's pain in this one, only in this scene. Everything else, he can go F himself.
Should we have a moment of silence for you, or should we move on?
Hey, one time I was with someone and they didn't know Thanksgiving was on Thursdays. Grown adult.
Oh, well, hopefully you were only with a grown adult.
I don't know. Dude, my mind is all like, I told you a few days ago, I went down that Epstein list. I literally looked at the files and stuff. You know, those files they're redacted, but they're out and about. You can read all of it.
Damn.
I went down this entire rabbit hole. I don't know what's legal or illegal in this country anymore.
Wow.
And then with like Bachabazi and stuff in Afghanistan and Pakistan, I really don't know what's going on in this world.
It's a crazy ass world these days. But you know what we can count on is Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. So there you go.
And sorry, I just none of those topics connected to each other, but whatever.
All right. So Greg comes to Logan's house for Thanksgiving with Ewen, and Greg, Roman, and his girlfriend go on the balcony to smoke some weed, and the weed is really intense, and they're all kind of just, I don't know, talking about God knows what. It's like a weird scene. So then Tom comes out and really tries to get Greg to go into the office to basically sacrifice him, and Greg is like, what do you need me to do? And Tom is like, it's not for me, and we never had this conversation. And Greg says, is it about the thing? And he's like starting to get really uncomfortable. Obviously it is. It's the thing. It's always the thing.
Like, the Tom and Greg storyline is just so amazing after watching this episode, because we reviewed You on Netflix with Joe Goldberg. That show is good too. I really like it. But this over-the-top billionaire thing that they're bad people and they all have trauma and drama within their families, that's been done to death, right?
Yeah.
There's so many shows that portray this kind of realism. But Greg and Tom, that's what makes this show so different. There's nothing like those characters in You. There's nothing like those characters in any of those like ABC, CBS kind of shows that are over the top, dumbass 1 hour dramas. Like these two characters, just on their own, when they're in the scene, I get way more vested. I don't know if you feel the same.
I totally do. And especially for Greg, because I feel like Greg is such a wild card in this, you know?
He's just like, he goes to the office and he starts singing, this one saves the day, this one makes Piggy go away, or whatever he's saying. And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's really funny. So Connor joins a family for Thanksgiving also, and he brings his 19-year-old girlfriend, and she brings 1 can of cranberry sauce. I was so annoyed when I saw this. I was like, how do you bring 1 can of cranberry sauce to a Thanksgiving with like 20 people there? I was so annoyed. I don't care if you're 18 years and 1 day or 19 years and 6 months. You should know to bring more than 1 can of cranberry sauce, and you should also open it, put a little, sprinkle a little cinnamon, sprinkle a little orange juice, you know, heat it up a bit. This, I don't know, I was really appalled by this.
Damn, okay. So you take more issue to somebody bringing a can versus someone not knowing that Thanksgiving is on a Thursday? What's worse? They're both pretty
bad,
I would say.
Yeah,
they're both pretty bad. Is she 19, by the way? Or is she... Because he has a brain of a 19-year-old. Connor, you can tell, has so much trauma from his past.
I feel like in one of the earlier episodes, one of the other siblings made an offhanded comment about her being 19, but she might be like 24 or something, you know?
Well, they're going steady, so she might not even be 19. At the end of the episode, Connor announces like they're going steady. I'm just like, he's beaten down, right? Like he's like a 12-year-old essentially, so that's why he acts like that. Like I don't know what happened to him. We tried to figure out what happened to him in the last episode, but maybe it's going to come up later.
Yeah. So then we see Kendall, like Kendall's such a fucking snake. He starts lobbying Ewen to believe that Logan is crazy because he knows Ewen doesn't like Logan and Logan doesn't like Ewen. So he's like, let me go to Ewen and just see if he'll believe that Logan is crazy and plant that seed because Ewen is on the board. So he has a board vote.
Yeah. Is this the part where Ewen gets mad at him and he's like, even though that's at the end, actually, he's like, my brother.
That's at the end.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So Greg has the hots for Connor's girlfriend. You could totally see it. This was such a weird scene.
Do you think that's what it was?
He was like, well, I think, okay, the whole family makes him feel awkward. So that's number one. But I think he does have the hots for her. And I don't blame him. They're actually closer in age and more suitable for each other than anybody else on this show.
He like pauses and he looks at her and then he asks Shiv and Tom like what's going on. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was more like an uncomfortable feeling. Maybe he knows her from somewhere. Who knows? He doesn't know
maybe.
Her,
yeah.
Well, no, she walks up. They introduce themselves, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. Yeah.
He says like, she's like, oh, did I interrupt an awkward moment or something? And then he goes, we weren't talking about anything. And he was about to say, we weren't talking about you because they were. Yeah. It was so funny. But he's a good actor. And then to finally break the ice, he says to her, would you rather be caught in a swimming pool with a shark or in a cage with a lion? And she's like, oh, I think in a swimming pool with a shark. And he's like, yeah, because you could punch the nose. It's like, what is happening? Yeah. These like two weirdo young people, but he can relate to people. It's just, he's so lovable. I don't know.
I mean, they're kids, dude. They're like not 25. So dude, one time I met my friends, I guess fiance at the time, and then they got married and they got divorced, and I'm not surprised at all. But we were just sitting at this like desi party. It might have been Eid or something. And she's looking at me and my first wife at the time. So it's like 20 years back. And she's like, do you like lions? What's your favorite animal? Do you like tigers? I like fish. Do you like this animal? And sometimes my family and I bring it up because it was just so insane. So that's this really scene... Weird.
Reminded you of that?
I've experienced it before.
Okay, I have a story
but
like
nobody
this.
but she wasn't like that hot. So And I wasn't uncomfortable around her either.
Okay, so my story about this is I have been the one to ask this question to a couple of people, but it's not guys. It's usually, actually, it was men I worked with, which might have been awkward. I was in my 20s. I don't know, whatever. But I would ask them, and I asked even my nephew, I was like, would you rather die by being killed by being shot or by a lion eating you? Assuming the pain was the same.
But why are you asking little kids this?
And so my nephew got it right. He was like, well, I'd rather get eaten by the lion because he didn't mean it. I was like, yeah, who wants to get your feelings hurt while you die too? You know?
But if you get shot, it can be instantaneous.
Well, assuming those things were equal, I'd rather get like killed by I mean, if a lion bites your head off, that's pretty instantaneous too.
So is lion your favorite animal?
No, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm going to get physically hurt, I'd rather get not emotionally hurt also.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I want like a huge creature on top of me, ripping me apart limb by limb. I'm watching these two cats for my brother, and I'm about to open that door and leave it open. They're so annoying.
Oh, man.
All right. Anyways, I don't know. I think I'd rather get shot.
Funny. All right. So just then, Tom grabs Greg to try and sacrifice him, throw him to the lions, the sharks, and whatever, and take him to the office and get him to shred the papers. And then, like you said, Connor asks his girl to be exclusive in the corner. It wasn't let's go steady. It was be exclusive. That's not that weird for a grown adult.
No, right? But he says go steady at the end of it when they're all saying what they're thankful for. He's like, I'm thankful that she said that. Yes. And we have a next step, blah, blah, blah. It was at the very end of the episode.
Okay.
And then he's like, we're going steady, and they make fun of him. But this part is really weird too, though. You're right.
Yeah, because she says that's intriguing. And then she's not into it, but obviously she kind of wants to string him along. And then she slaps him and he gets excited. Do they have some like weird BDSM thing going on? There's all this like sexual undertones in this that are really interesting that they give like a tiny little crumb of, and then they never really like, or they haven't gotten into it yet.
Yeah. While these kids are extremely traumatized, I think, as I was saying, Connor seems to be a child, beaten down, probably never got to like really grow up. He was probably extremely spoiled growing up. He still has childlike mentality and the way he speaks.
Yeah.
And maybe the mom was like, I don't know, abusive, so he has mommy issues. And she knows that because she's his hoe. And when you have a hoe, that hoe is supposed to know everything about you.
Yeah.
You know what? I think my daughter's listening to this outside this door right behind me.
That's really funny. Okay.
It's like, what the hell?
Is it your daughter or the cats?
I don't know, man. You've been here.
Right.
Like, it's a hallway upstairs. Like, she's leaving like in an hour. She's going to Comic-Con with her mom, but we went to Comic-Con yesterday. But all I'm really trying to say is, why would you hire someone to be like your partner if they don't know everything about you?
Yeah.
I don't have experience of having like a full-time hoe, right? Or any kind of hoe, sorry. But this is like legit his like
somebody he's paying, not somebody that's actually emotionally invested, is what you're saying.
But how do you bring someone to your like family dinner like that without embarrassment? These people have no shame.
Yeah. So anyways, Greg is at the office trying to do Tom's dirty work and get the boxes from wherever Tom instructed him to get them from, but he gets more and more and more uncomfortable. It's like so awkward. So he calls Tom and says, this feels like Watergate kind of a feeling. And Tom's like, it's okay. It's not. Don't worry. And then he just hangs up on Greg. And it's like, dude, Greg, run. But no, what does Greg do? He begins shredding. And like you said, he starts singing and he finishes shredding. And he's, while he's saying his whole song, and there's these bags and bags of like shredded documents. And these guys come to pick it up. And he's like, hey, okay, so here are the documents. And those guys say nothing to him. They don't even say a word. They barely acknowledge his existence. They just take the bags and say nothing. And so it's just like, okay, this is
the fix is in. They're problem solvers, right?
They're janitors.
But they're janitors, yeah.
Yeah.
And Greg is basically like, yeah, these are all, illegal. A lot of corporate malfeasance has happened, but nothing to see here. It's so obvious that it's paperwork that nobody needs to see.
Yeah. So then Logan comes down the stairs and he sees that his dad is there and
It's
greets
not his
him.
dad, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay. He sees that his brother's there and he greets him for the first time. And they're obviously they don't like each other. You could tell right away. So the family sits down for Thanksgiving dinner. The tension between Ewen and Logan is palpable. Brothers, not father and son.
Mm-hmm.
So and then Kendall's ex-wife comes in and she's late, and her autistic son is sitting kind of in the foyer of the fancy New York home, right? And basically they want to go out and kind of like acclimate him to come in. There's like a lot of people, and Logan gets pissed and he's like, tell him to come in. And Kendall's ex-wife is like, transitions are difficult for him. And he's like, transitions are difficult? He's such an uncle in this. He's just a crotchety uncle.
I thought he was about to make a trans joke.
Oh, no. I
or
think he was...
not a joke, like a trans, like an insult.
Make fun of them, yeah. But I think also maybe he was thinking about himself because he's also going through this transition of becoming better after his stroke. So it's like maybe, transitions are difficult for him too, but he just doesn't want to acknowledge it. So Ewen and Logan, they start fighting. Obviously, we saw that coming. And basically, my notes say dad again.
Wild. It says, in what world did you think you watched this entire episode today or whenever you did?
I figured it out at the end.
And you know Logan is 80 years old.
Yeah.
How old do you think Ewen was?
I don't know, but it's TV. They do weird things.
No, I get that. Like this guy Connor played a teenager in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? With Matthew Broderick, and he was 30 in real life. So I get it, but Ewan does look older than Logan Roy, but not really.
Yeah.
They look the same age.
So anyways, basically, Ewan thinks Logan is too greedy and unethical. And he's right. Like, how is he wrong? Right. But apparently there's something deeper there that they need to forgive each other for. And we obviously don't know the backstory there yet. But basically, Logan is upset with Ewan for thinking that he deserves an apology. But Ewan thinks he deserves an apology. So it's like, okay, what is going on? We need to learn more about this later.
Yeah. They just start like yelling at each other. Like it was so contentious right away. So you're right. There's something there.
Yeah. And then Ewan gets mad at everybody for telling him that Logan was ready to apologize to him, which I'm thinking maybe Marcia was the only one that said that. And then Kendall talks to Ewan in the elevator as he's like rushing off because he gets pissed and he's like leaving. He's like, if you're not going to apologize, I'm leaving. So then obviously Kendall the snake comes in and he goes to the elevator with Ewan and he tries to like convince Ewan to come on his side and vote against Logan as a vote of no confidence to get him out as CEO. And Ewan tells him, even though he's pissed, he won't sell his brother out like that because he ain't no snitch. He's not
and then he even says, my brother's not a human being. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, okay. So
Ewan he's like, I forgot my cane or something. And then he goes
he doesn't tell Kendall why he wants to go back into the house, but he just starts going back into the house. So Kendall starts kissing Ewan's ass because he's like, is he going back up to literally just tell my dad that I'm throwing him under the bus? And so he's like, I just want what's best for him. And Ewan is like, the good son, sarcastically. And then Ewan goes into the house and everyone's like, what is he doing back here? And Ewan goes, I just came to get my cane. And he grabs his cane and he walks out. And just then Greg is walking in and Ewan wants them to go together. He's like, come on, Greg, like, let's go. We're leaving. And Greg's like, I'm starving. I just got here. And he doesn't really want to leave Ewan alone with Greg because he doesn't want Ewan to tell Greg what he just told Ewan. So he's like, oh, we'll get you a car. And Greg's like, yeah, that way you can stay and eat. And so they agree. And Ewan goes, but right before he leaves, he says to Greg, this family is a bunch of vipers that will surround you and suffocate you. And then Greg says something dumb, like, isn't that it's a different snake, isn't that a cobra or something? He says something like that.
He said boa constrictor.
Boa constrictor, yeah.
He's like, that's a boa constrictor, and which is factually correct.
Yeah,
because I don't think they're vipers,
right?
Because they suffocate you.
Yeah, that's
so
right. Vipers are supposed to be fast. And
these guys are slow moving in the mud, and they're waiting for the right moment to wrap around your neck and just fucking take you out, right? So Greg,
this
motherfucker knows. We already said it. He's like the smartest one.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's the smartest one. And he's just so relatable to make some weird ass comment like that at a time like that. He's so
He knows
so
his
relatable.
Snakes. He knows, hey, snakes know snakes.
Oh, it takes one to know one, right? I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom congratulates Greg on figuratively killing himself, right? But he doesn't actually tell Greg that. He just basically is like, good job.
Wait, hold on. Should we talk about Roman and the movie first?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Roman in the movie.
Yeah, so Roman, he's still in his house and he's looking for Grace, his girlfriend, and then he walks in. I don't know who these kids are, by the way, and she's watching some like overt...
They're Kendall's kids. One of the girls is Kendall's kid.
Then who's the other girl?
I don't know. Somebody else's kid.
In the
scene.
You're
right.
Dude, I got freaked out, right? And I'm not trying to make a joke out of this, but like when Roman opens the door and he like yells at Grace for watching a movie, at first I was like, you can't be alone with kids. That's what I initially thought, but it's because I think I've been reading all this Epstein stuff. He's just mad because he's an ego weirdo. And he's like, how dare you watch? I don't understand why he was mad. I don't get it. That's why I wanted to bring it up. What do you think?
I didn't know either. I was confused. And then she's like, what the hell? I think he was mad because she was having fun, because I think he expected her to only have fun with him. So I don't know. It's just super duper weird. But then like they start arguing and she's like, oh, you want to talk about something? How about we only have sex once in every 6 months? And then he's like, fuck off. And he leaves. I was like,
that's
damn.
like what? Like I don't know how long they've been together, but the dude is into the trainer. Just leave him alone, lady. You're not with him for sex appeal, anyways, right? You're with him for power. And money.
Yeah. So then back to Tom and Greg. So Tom congratulates Greg on finishing the job, and this is where the family does this performative "What are we each thankful for?" session. And
but it was Tom. So Tom was like, can we do something that my family does? He's a dork, right? And they all make fun of him, but they still do it. But I think they do it to make fun of the situation and make fun of Tom, because Roman is like, I forgot what he said, but he's like, I'm thankful I'm not like I think it was a slur. I don't know. I can't remember what he said.
I can't remember what he said too, but I remember what his girlfriend said, which was that I'm thankful that Roman is not, and then she listed all this stuff he does do. Like he's inconsiderate, and it was funny.
Yeah.
It was
and then
really
that's when Amir was like, I'm thankful for becoming the anime director of Europe. And then Kendall and Roman are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's during the whole thankful scene.
Interesting.
Dude Amir pops out of
up.
nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Have you ever gone around the table and been thankful for stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you want me to say?
With your white in-laws?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. It seems a little traumatizing now that I think about it, even though there wasn't anything like super obscene about it. It's just traumatizing in different ways, and I can't really describe it, but it wasn't fun. It didn't seem genuine. Like this one doesn't seem genuine either, right? The Succession one.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was performative, and the Succession one was definitely performative.
Definitely
right?
performative.
Like, yeah. So
no, I feel like
I didn't think that anybody was thankful, but I think your in-laws might be a little different.
Yeah, it was genuine for me. And then that was like, it was the first like the first Thanksgiving after I was married. So I was just like, oh, I'm thankful to be married. And that was like genuine, even though it's like dorky, because it's like I was married for like 2 months at that point. But
and to the ex-in-laws that are listening, because I'm sure 2 of you are at this point, I don't have anything against you guys. It was just like weird. And watch Succession season 1, episode 5. And tell me that you're more normal. I don't know. It seemed the same to me. Other than the subject matter is a little bit more graphic in Succession. I would say.
So then Tom gives this sarcastic congratulation to Connor's girlfriend, like you said, that they're going steady, whatever that means, at 50 years old. Yeah. This is after everybody went around and said what they were grateful for. Tom comes up to her and starts congratulating her on the relationship. And he's like, so what's the arrangement here? And whatever. He's kind of like being passive aggressive. And she's
like, is there paperwork? Do you sign something? He's such a dork. I mean, of course, he's like, I'm in, you're not. That's what he's trying to say. But she gets him good, right?
Yeah, because then she says, hey, listen, at least I'm only getting fucked by one member of this family. Mic drop. That was nice.
Because he's being fucked by everyone.
Yeah.
Literally, that's why he goes so hard on Greg.
Yeah, so true. So after all this, they plan to do like a family game after dinner, right? And Kendall's son. So basically, okay, can you explain the game thing to me? I don't know.
I went to market, and then you have to say what the previous people said. So before Logan Roy went, there was 2 different. I went to market. He couldn't remember the second one. So if you can't remember it, you lose. You have to pass the item to the next person. That's
which was the cranberry sauce can.
Which was the cranberry sauce, and then Logan Roy was like, "No, I'm a man."
Yeah,
decided to hit the kid with a cranberry sauce can. But I did want to ask you, like, do you think it's indicative of his personality if someone does that at 80 years old without having full mental capacity, or do you think it's
his strokes,
something that they can let go and be like, okay, shit, he didn't mean to do that?
I think that it's something I don't think that Logan Roy should be held like responsible for doing something like that in his condition, because his brain has had trauma, right? My dad went through like this kind of stuff, so I don't think he can be held responsible for that. But like as a parent, I don't know if you're gonna feel the same way about him again, you know? So, but you know, this is just additional fuel that Kendall needs to hate his dad and to try to paint his dad as crazy in front of everyone. So
I mean, it is crazy though. It is crazy
sure.
scene. I'm only going to disagree with you a little bit because I think something like that is already baked into your personality. So if you have
it's like being drunk.
I'm talking specifically
right?
Logan Roy.
Yeah.
You think that guy was a sweet, innocent person his previous 80 years in life? No, he did it because it's in him.
Right. I think you become more yourself, maybe. Like, you know how they say people are more the true, honest when they're drunk or whatever. It's kind of like it's kind of like that, I think. But you also won't be drunk in every context. But if you have a brain injury, you have to be like that in every context, right? So I don't know. I get what you're saying, but anyways, so Kendall and Jerry chat on the balcony at the end of the night. Jerry asked Kendall why Ewen would be mad at him because he saw that Ewen was kind of mad at Kendall. And Jerry says she'll always be there for Logan, but she works for Waystar. And if Kendall is thinking of moving against him, she's spoken to Frank and she's seen all she needed to see, which this is not her saying I'm on your side. This is her implying that to him and him probably being stupid enough to like get all happy about it.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode. This is legitimate politics, and she's really good at it. Yeah.
So then we see Roman's girl moves out of his place, Grace, because she's like, I've had enough of this shit. Good for her. Connor's girl is miserable in bed, sleeping next to him. And Marcia is taking care of Tom, and she helps him into bed. And he's still thinking about the market game. And he's like reciting it as he's going to bed, and he gets it right. And she's like, Logan, good job. Tom. I mean, sorry, obviously, Marcia's taking care of Logan and putting Logan to bed.
I'm really
not
interested
Tom.
in Marcia and Tom's relationship coming to light. It actually reminds me of. I'm actually glad you said that because I got this like weird thought in my head when I was finishing the episode. I'm like, dude, Logan Roy's wife Marcia is like Sofia Vergara's character from Modern Family.
Yeah.
And then in another world, Tom would be Phil, right? So. Like Phil thinks I forgot what's her character in Gloria. Phil thinks Gloria is like super hot and he always gets nervous when she's around. So I'm like, it'd be hilarious if like Tom got all weird with Marcia, but I didn't see that. So your note, maybe that could be an alternate episode.
Yeah, that could be. We'll see. Maybe it will be at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Marcia is definitely going to get more involved with Amir as we see Tom is a snake. Greg is like a harmless snake right now, but he's probably going to bring out the fangs later. Yeah, the viper cobra fangs. Yeah. All right, I got to wrap. Let's head out of here. You can find us at Chai After Dark on TikTok, Instagram, on any podcast platform. Make sure you like, subscribe, give us 5 stars. And if you can write a little review on Apple, a good one, do it there. Want to criticize us? You can rip us to shreds at chaiafterdark@chaiafterdark.com in email. We can take it. We had brown dads. Okay, we gotta go. Jingle's coming up. And hey, Thanksgiving is always on Thursdays. Bye.
Bye.